proud of our group. You know, it's a special night, really in the history of our program, to get to the semifinals of this tournament, to beat that program, to get to the championship game. One of the things I used to say all the time when we were in the Big East, that, you know, let's get to Saturday. You know, we went to 4 straight semifinals before we left the league for the ACC, but we can never get to Saturday. Darn if we're not playing for it tomorrow night, and I've never been more confident of a group. I thought we were really ready to play. We got off to a good start. We got off to a good start in the second half, and it's the second game in a row that our defense really was a key for us. You know, we're a fun group to be around, and we've got great karma about us right now at the right time of year.
Questions? Raise your hand. Let us get the handheld mic to you. Let us know who you are, who you're with. First question to our left.
Mike, Luke Cock, Raleigh News and Observer. So it's 15 at the half, and the last 5 minutes, I mean, Duke is coming. Tyus hits that three. What's going through your mind at that point? And did you think they would get the gap closed?
You know, I think for us, we've weathered, you saw it last night, we've weathered stuff like this all season. And we found a way to be poised. And I actually said in one of the timeouts, you know, it's just like last night. I think I said, they're not going to win. Let them have a little fun closing the gap, but we're going to win this thing. And our guys are really confident like that. I thought we had key stops, key defensive stops. These two guys were flat out fabulous. And we had some really key, strong drives. You know what helped us? We were driving and we got to the bonus early, you know, because we were driving. We picked up some hand checks. And that helped us because their defense was really good. And the only way we were going to score sometimes is maybe to get to the line.
Front row.
J.C. Zembo from Blue and Gold Illustrated. You knew the zone was coming, and yet Bonzie kept finding the sweet spot in it. What really worked with that?
You know, I wanted him to do that against Syracuse, but he wasn't quite ready to do that, and that's more my fault than his fault. And we got him more ready. And I thought when he's in there in the middle of that thing, he's a scoring threat. He makes difficult shots. He can pass from there, and he can make free throws. And I knew he was going to play well tonight because he didn't play well last night. And he's a competitive dude. He gave us a great lift. But he has been like an X factor for us ever since the Georgia Tech game on the road when we didn't have Zach August.
Who has the next question? Getting to our left.
Obviously the last game in Cameron, Duke had something to prove. Was this revenge for the revenge in the first half?
You know, these guys could probably answer that more. I mean, we didn't get into that much. I mean, they played great. We never watched any film of it. I tore the stat sheet up in practice on that Sunday, and we moved on. You know, this was one of those nights. But I think, you know, what we did watch today was we watched the last 10 minutes of our game in South Bend, where we came roaring back. And we got into that mode tonight where we were driving and scoring and getting big physical defensive stops.
Front row.
JC from Blue and Gold Illustrated again. You didn't double team Okafor very often. It seemed like you just wanted to make sure that the other guys weren't going off, and clearly they were not.
That really was our plan in all 3 games. And you know what? We just didn't want him lighting us up from the three-point line, to make him work for everything, and he did. He got 28 tonight, but he worked to get him. And then I thought we strategically fouled a little bit there under 2 minutes. Bonzie did a good job. We said, let's just put him on the line because he's hard to deal with. But I worry about with them, and that's how they scorched us in Cameron, when they get going from the three-point line, then you're not going to score enough. So we gambled that way, and we're good. We're 2-1 gambling that way.
Who has the next question? Front row.
Obviously, with UNC, their size and offensive rebounding was a big deal in Chapel Hill. How do you see your team has adjusted?
Yeah, we gave up 21 offensive rebounds that night and escaped in Chapel Hill. I think they're playing really well. I thought they were really in a groove. We got our hands full. It was a great game down there. You know, the key was, like we've done in these last 2 games, we got off to a great start there, and it made us believe. And if you look at the games in this tournament, the teams that are getting off to great starts are winning. and that other team is playing catch up the whole game, and they can't quite get over the hump. And we've gotten off to good starts, 2 of them, and we're going to need to do that tomorrow night.
To our left.
Aaron Beard with the AP. For either player, can you walk me through what your mindset was when Duke made its run to cut the lead down and kind of finding a way to respond to that?
Demetrius first.
Yeah, we've been through it. We've experienced that a number of times this season. We know it's a game of runs, and so I think we did a great job recovering from those runs and staying together and having each other's backs. And we just did a great job, and Bonzie did a really great job tonight.
Bonzie.
Yeah, I agree with Demetrius, man. We've been there in that situation a lot this season. So we just have to keep battling throughout it and just keep executing on offense and get good defensive rebounds, and we did that tonight.
Coach David Glenn from the David Glenn Show on ACCSports.com. We could make a long list of the things you've accomplished in 15 years at Notre Dame, but a conference title has been elusive. How do you describe just what personal meaning you attach to something like that?
Well, you know, there would be no greater achievement in the history of our program. Again, we were an independent for a long time, but this would be as good as anything we've done in our history. And, you know, and it's something, you know, personally I've kind of been searching for, to get to Saturday night and play for a tournament championship. And as I said, it eluded us. I think we went to 6 semifinals in the Big East and just had some great games and couldn't get to the next night. But I'm thrilled. And, you know, for us, I guess it's only fitting that to get it, you got to go through Duke and North Carolina down here on their turf. I think we'd put an asterisk by it if we got it, if you get to both of them in the semis and the final.
Middle of the room, under the lights, Coach.
Coach Tim OMalley with Irish Illustrated. You had various people that hit key shots for you tonight, but once again, when they cut it to 4, Steve Astoria steps up, hits a 3, gets a layup, gets a rebound. Just talk about his contributions.
Yeah, the guy's unbelievable. He's one of the most underrated, unsung players in the country. You know, again, he's guarding Winslow most of the night, and Winslow had a hard time driving by him, especially early. Winslow drove us early in Cameron and hurt us. That's why we started Steve on him, and I thought he put a chest on him. And then he's really clutch. He wants to take the big one, just like last night, and he's done it over and over again. But he's a glue guy. He's just so easy to play with, and he's a very confident player right now, and he's a heck of a lot healthier than he was yesterday. I think we got him back almost to 100%.
To our left.
Aaron Beard with the AP again. Coach, you've been in a Saturday night championship tournament before, but it's kind of a new thing for the ACC. How much value do you think there is in having the championship on a Saturday night where you maybe have that time to regroup an extra day before?
Well, let's add the semis in a night session, too. You know, we talked about this when we joined the league. Jamie Dixon, Jim Boeheim, and I all talked about the energy of a Friday night semifinal and a Saturday night and a Saturday championship game, just for the buzz, and for people. You know, everybody around the country was watching our semis tonight in that night session, and you know, it was a special. And you know what? I felt more comfortable coming down here this year because it was like the old Big East format, quite frankly. I mean, we're accustomed to being up till 4 in the morning playing the late game and turning around and playing late again. But you know, I would think all the coaches would think it's a great benefit. We also felt, and now that I'm in it, I sure would like another day to get my legs under me before we go into the NCAA tournament. Instead of playing Sunday afternoon, be nice, we'll get back, and you get your legs under you, you get organized. And I think that was another big selling point that, you know, many of the coaches, especially Mike and Roy, I think they really looked at that and said, yeah, you know, I think that would be an advantage.
Anyone else? Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.